Dear students, welcome to another lecture on mechanics of solids. In this lecture, we will be dealing with drawing shear force and bending moment diagrams of a beam having a variety of loading. A multiple loads are acting on the beam. Till now, what we had been considering was beams subjected to individual loading. However, from now on, we will be dealing with beams which are subjected to multiple loads. So let's see how to solve problems of this kind. Now, if we look into the problem, we are having a set of loads acting on it. As a result, we are having different regions of uniform loading. So if we look into this particular figure, we are having region AD having a similar kind of loading, region DC is having a similar set of loading, and region CB is having a different set of loading. So we need to find expressions for shear force and bending moment at each of these sections. So let us consider section CB to begin with. So if we consider the section CB, what we will be doing is, let us redraw the figure. So as we have discussed in the previous example, what we will be doing is we will be considering a section XX at a distance x from the point B. So now this is the section XX. Now at the region XX, what we are going to do is we are going to find the expression for shear force and bending moment. So to do that, what we will do is we will be considering a small element near the section XX. Now we will try to zoom it out. So if you try to zoom it out, this would be XX. The positive conventions for shear force and bending moment we will draw. This would be the positive convention. So this is the set of forces that we are going to choose. We will be considering the free body diagram of the region to the right of the section. So if you draw the free body diagram, this would be the free body diagram. Now considering the equilibrium of the free body diagram, what we have is Vx will be equal to 10 kilonewton. So this will be the first expression we are going to get. And the second expression is if we take moment about the section XX. So let us take moment about the section XX equal to 0. Let us consider clockwise moments as positive. So what we are going to get is mx plus 10x equal to 0. We'll get mx equals minus 10x. So this will be the second expression we are going to get. Now here again, as we know, we have taken a variable x and therefore the origin of the variable is important, and as you can see we have chosen the origin as b here. Okay, so that has to be kept in mind. Now let us go for the second region. For the second region, what we are going to do is now for the second region, what we will be doing is we will be considering a section XX in the region DC. So we are going to consider the region DC now. Now again, let us consider the origin as C. So if we consider the origin as C, this would be X. And what we will be doing is we will be considering a small element here, and we will zoom out the element. So if we zoom out the element, it will look like this. and the positive sign conventions can be obtained from here. So if we try to draw the free body diagram to the left, what we will be getting is this will be 20 kilonewton and this is 1.5 meter. This distance would be x, so this is section xx, and this will be vx, this would be mx. So if we try to write, we will get equilibrium of the free body diagram will give us vx equal to 20 plus 10, that is 30 kilonewton. This will be vx. Second is we require mx, so what we will do is we'll go for moment about the section xx equal to 0. So we will get mx plus 20x plus 10 into x plus 1.5 equal to 0. So the distance from 10 till the section x's is this distance x plus 1.5. So that's why we have it x plus 1.5 here. So if we try to simplify the expression, we will get it as minus 30x minus 15. So this will be the expression for mx now. Similarly, the expression for Vx will be 30 kilonewton. So what we have obtained now is the expression for Vx as well as the expression for Mx for the region DC. So this is the region DC, and what is important is the origin that we have chosen. We have chosen the origin as C. Now let us try to do it for the next region. Now the next region we have to consider is the region AD. So again, what we have to do is we need to consider section XX in the region AD. However, this time what we will be doing is, let us try to see what will happen if we are choosing the origin. Preferable choice of origin is the point D. However, let us try to choose the origin at the point B, just to show that the choice of origin is arbitrary. That is, it is our choice as to which point has to be the origin. So in this case, let me choose B as the origin. The preferable choice of origin is D because it will ease our calculations. However, let us try to see what if the point B is chosen as the origin. Again, what we will be doing is we will be considering a section here and then we will zoom it out. We can get the positive directions of shear force and bending moment. So we will choose this as Vx. This would be our Mx, and this distance would be x. So if we have this here, we can have from the equilibrium of the free body diagram, we will get Vx equal to 50 kilonewton. So that is the first expression that we are developing, and the second expression we can have is uh, if we take moment about the section xx equal to 0, what we will be having is mx plus 10x. 10x is the moment produced by the 10 kilonewton force plus 10 into x minus 1.5. The first 20 kilonewton load is at a distance of x minus 1.5 from the section xx. So this will be x minus 1.5 plus this force would be at a distance, the next 20 kilonewton would be at a distance of x minus 2.5. So this is 20 into x minus 2.5. This was 20 equal to 0. So if we try to rewrite and simplify this equation, we would be getting it as minus 50x plus 80. So this would be the expression for bending moment in the region DC, and I mean bending moment in the region AD. This is bending moment in the region AD and the origin is B. Okay, so we have got the expressions for shear force and bending moment at all the three regions. Now what we would do is we will try to uh, draw the tabulation form. So it is always preferable to draw the tabular form so that it will help us to systematically represent whatever values that we have found out till now. So the first column should be region, and the next column would be origin. The third column, let it be Vx, and the fourth column, let it be Mx. So Mx should be a slightly larger column. So we have three regions. First region is AD, second region is DC, and the third region is CB. So these are the three regions that we are having. And for AD, the origin was B, and for DC, the origin was the point C, and for CB, the origin was the point B. And now the shear force, the values that we got for different one. For the first one, it was 10, and for the second one, it was 30, and for the third one, it was 50. And for the shear force, the bending moment values, the first one it was minus 10x, for the second one it was minus 30x minus 15, and for the last one it was minus 50x plus 80. These were the bending moment values. Now we have to draw the shear force and bending moment for the resultant beam. So to do this, what we require is we require the values of bending moment and shear force at some of the salient points. Okay, we require the shear force and bending moment at the salient points. For example, here the salient points will be points C and D. So let us, in case of shear force, let us say uh, in the considering the region AD, we have VA equal to 10, VD equal to 10. Now, if we consider the region, since shear force, what we have to understand is wherever there is a concentrated force in a shear force diagram, the shear that will be represented by a sudden spike in the shear force diagram. So whenever you have a concentrated force coming in a shear force diagram, that concentrated force in the loading diagram will be represented as a sudden jump in the shear force diagram. Okay, so once again, if there is a concentrated force that is represented as a sudden jump in the value in shear force diagram. So what we have to understand is when the loading diagram is having concentrated forces, we have to evaluate that jump in the shear force diagram. So how we do that is we will find out the shear force from both the regions. For example, at the point D, we will find out what will be the shear force given by the region expression for the region AD as well as for the region DC. So if we consider the region DC, the expression for shear forces at the point D is 30. Similarly, at the region C, from DC we have the expression as 30, and for the point C, from CB we have the expression as 50, and finally for the point B the expression is 50. So this is the shear force diagram and all the values are positive. So if we try to now plot this, there is a slight mistake. we have written it in the opposite order, so I'll just correct this. Okay, so this is the shear force of the salient points. So if we try to plot them, once again from the region AD the value is 50, from for D from AD it is 50, and from DC it is 30, for C from DC it is 30, and from CB it is 10, and finally for B it is 10. So how do we plot this? Simply between the regions of concentrated loading the shear force will have a constant variation or a horizontal line. So now this would be the spike. This would be the shear force diagram. This will be 10, this will be 30, and this would be 50. So it will be having a positive sign, and this is a shear force diagram. Now next thing what we have to do is we have to calculate what will be the salient points for the bending moment diagram. So to find the salient points for the bending moment diagram, here if you look, the shear force diagram was not having any variation. They were constant values, and the origin did not really matter. However, when it comes to bending moment diagram, we can see that all the expressions for bending moment diagram is a function of x, and it is a linear function of x. Therefore it will be having straight line variation, that is y is equal to mx plus c. It is having straight line variation. Second thing is, since it is a function of x, the origin is becomes important here. Okay, so the origin is important. And another thing is, just like we have told that whenever there is a concentrated force, there will be a sudden jump in the value in the shear force diagram. Here when it comes to bending moment diagram, what we have to look is, if you are having a concentrated moment, if you are having a concentrated moment, then there will be a sudden jump in the bending moment diagram. However, if you look into this particular bending moment diagram, I mean this particular loading diagram, we do not have any concentrated moments acting on the beam, and therefore this kind of sudden jump in the bending moment diagram is not going to occur, and therefore the calculation would become rather simplified. That is, we do not have to look for two values at any particular point. At every point there will be only one particular value, because there is no concentrated moment. Okay, I hope that idea is clear. If you're having a concentrated force, that would be reflected as a sudden jump in the shear force diagram, and if there is a concentrated moment, that would be reflected as a sudden jump in the value of the bending moment diagram. So whenever we have a sudden jump, what that means is, at that particular point the bending moment or the shear force will be having two values. Okay, and those two values have to be evaluated like we have evaluated here. And in this particular case, the loading do not have any concentrated moment, and therefore the bending moment will only be having one single value at every point. There will not be two values. So let us try to evaluate. So to get the point A, what we have to do is, the expression to get the bending moment at the point A, we have to choose the expression for the region AD, and for the region AD the origin is B, that is, this is the origin, and A is at a distance of uh, 1 plus 1 plus 1.5, that is 3.5 meter. So if we substitute 3.5 meter, what we are going to get is minus 50 into 3.5 plus 80. So we will get the value as, I think it is going to be minus 95 kilonewton meter. So the value will be minus 95 kilonewton meter. That is the value of moment at MA. Now if you want to find the moment at MD, if you want to find MD, we can choose either of the expression. We can either choose AD or expression from the region AD, or we can choose the expression from the region DC. Now what we will be doing is, if you are taking the expression from the region AD, uh, the value of x will be 2.5. Okay, x will be 2.5. For example, if you are choosing the region AD, the origin becomes B, and therefore D will be at x is equal to 2.5. And if you are choosing the region DC, the origin becomes C, and x will be at 1 meter. Now the advantage is always multiplying with 1 is rather simple compared to multiplying with 2.5. Now it doesn't make any difference when you're doing it in a calculator. However, still, if you're doing it manually, the smaller the number that you're multiplying with, calculations becomes easier. That is the reason why we are choosing origin as at the nearest point rather than choosing it at a point that is far away, because our calculations will become simplified. So if I am choosing it from DC, uh, the expression for bending moment will become minus 30 into 1 minus 15, that is minus 45 kilonewton meter. And similarly, if we are finding the bending moment in the region CB, so if you are taking MC, it is going to be minus 10 into 1.5, that is minus 15. So these are the different values of bending moment. At the region B, it will be 0 because x is equal to 0 at the origin. And all these values, if you can see, is negative. So if we try to draw the bending moment diagram, it is going to be 0 here. Then we will be having a straight line. This will be 15. Then we will have another straight line. This will be 45. And then we will have another straight line. This will be 95. So all will be negative. The slope of these lines are going to be different. This kind of a discontinuity would not be there. However, the slope will be discontinuous. This will be having a slope S1, this will be having a slope S2, and this will be having a slope S3. You don't have to mark the slopes. However, you have to understand that this is not going to be one single straight line. However, there will be three different straight lines. Okay, for example, of this fashion, like you will be having three different straight lines of different slopes. They won't be of the same direction. So this would be the bending moment diagram for the particular case. So this is how we draw the shear force and bending moment diagram for a cantilever beam subjected to multiple horizontal loads. Okay, multiple vertical loads, and all of them are concentrated loads. Now in the next example, what we will consider is, we will consider a simply supported beam subjected to uh, different types of loading. Thank you. Now this is the next question we have to consider. What we are having is, we are having a simply supported beam, and this simply supported beam is having a uniformly varying load which is having 0 at A and a maximum of 40 kilonewton per meter at the point C. Then we are having another concentrated load 80 kilonewton acting. Now the first part we have to do is, we need to calculate what is the reactions at the point A and B. So to find the reaction at the point A and B, we will simplify the diagram. So this triangular load that we are having can be represented by its equivalent. So the equivalent of a triangular loading is, the magnitude of the load will be half into base into height. So half into base is 3 meter into height is 40. We will get it as 60, and this would be acting at the centroid of the triangle. So this is 60 and it will be acting at the centroid. Centroid will be b by 3, so base divided by 3, that is 1 meter. So that is what we have represented here. We have represented the total 60 acting at 1 meter from the point C. Now this is the equivalent diagram for this particular case, and now what we will do is, we will take moment about the point A. So if we take moment about the point A, we will be getting the value of RB as 80 kilonewton and RA we will get it as 60 kilonewton. So RA is 60 and RB is 80. So this is the starting point of our analysis. Okay. Now having started the analysis here, again if we look here, we have different regions of loading. First region is AC, another region is CD, and another region is CB. So let us start with the region CD. Let us start with the region AC. So we are choosing the region AC. Now what we can do is to get the bending moment and shear force in the region AC, we have to choose the section in the region AC. Now it is preferable to choose the origin from this side, so we can choose the origin from this side. Now what we have to do is we need to again take a section, take a small element here. So this would be the small element. If we try to zoom it out, it is going to look like this. So we have to find out what are the directions of positive shear force and bending moment. So these are the directions that we have to choose. Now if we try to draw the free body diagram of the left of the section, so this will be the free body diagram of the left of the section. This distance would be x, this value is 60. Now we also need to know what will be the magnitude of the bending moment at this particular point. How do we find that? Is we are having a linear variation, so at 3 meter we are having 40 as the magnitude, and therefore at x we will be having 40 divided by 3 into x as the magnitude. So this you can find it out from some kind of uh, linear interpolation. So if it is 3 meter if at 3 meter the intensity is 40, then at x the intensity would be 40 divided by 3 into x. So this is 40 here at 3 meter, therefore at x it will be 40 divided by 3 into x. So that would be the intensity here. Now if we want to find out the shear force, if we will consider the equilibrium of the forces, so minus Vx plus 60 minus the load from the triangle is half into base is x into intensity is 40 divided by 3 into x equal to 0. So we can get the value of Vx as Vx is equal to 60 minus 20 divided by 3 into x square. So this would be the expression for the shear force. Similarly, we can also develop expressions for the bending moment. So how do we do that? Again, to find the bending moment, what we have to do is we need to take the moment about the section xx. So if we take moment about the section xx equal to 0, minus mx plus 60 into x, that is this force multiplied by the distance, minus the load that is going to act as half into x into 40 divided by 3 into x. So this is the load, and the distance at which this load is going to act is at x by 3. So this would be equal to 0. If we try to simplify this expression, we will be getting it as mx is equal to 60x minus 20 by 9 into x cube. So this will be the expression for the bending moment. Here what we have to understand is the choice of the origin is the point A. A is chosen as the origin. Hope this idea is clear to you. Once again, how we have, probably the only confusion would be how we have taken the moment here. So for example, if we are having a triangular loading here, So this total distance is x, and we are taking moment about this particular point. So the resultant would be acting here, and it will be acting at a distance x by 3, and the magnitude of this resultant will be area of this triangle, that is half into base into height, that is half into x in, this is half, this is x multiplied by the intensity is 40 divided by 3 into x. So this would be the total load, and that would be acting at x by 3 from this particular side. So we will be getting this value. So what we have done is we have developed expressions for shear force and bending moment in the region AC. Now what we have to look for is the shear force is having a parabolic variation or a quadratic variation, and the bending moment is having a cubic variation. Okay, that has to be kept in mind for drawing the shear force and the bending moment diagram. And also the choice of the origin is the point A. Now let us consider the next point that we will consider is the region CD. Again, to consider the region CD, it is advantageous to choose the origin as the nearby point. This would be x, and we would consider a small element here. If you try to zoom it out, these would be the positive directions of shear force and bending moment. So if we try to draw the free body diagram, to the right of the section, this would be 80, and we have 80 here. This is 1.5 meter, and this distance is x. This is the point D, and this is the point B, and we have shear force Bx here, bending moment is Mx here. So now if we calculate the shear force, we will get Vx as 0, 80 minus 80, and to calculate Mx, we will take moment about this section xx. So if we consider moment about this section xx equal to 0, we will have Mx plus 80x minus 80 into x plus 1.5 equal to 0. So if you simplify it, we will get Mx as plus 120 kilonewton meter. It's a constant value. So throughout the region CD, the shear force will be 0, and the bending moment is going to have a constant value, 120 kilonewton meter. So we are considering the region CD here, and the origin has been taken as the nearest point, that is D. Okay, so these are the values. Shear force is 0 in the region CD, and the bending moment is also constant and is plus 120 kilonewton meter. Now the next point that we will consider is we will be considering the region DB now. That is the third region we have to consider, that is the region DB. So how will we consider the region DB? Again, to consider the region DB, we will consider a section here, and this would be our X. We will draw a small element here. We will zoom it out. These will be the positive directions of shear force and bending moment. And now what we will do is we will try to draw the free body diagram. So for the region DB, we are drawing the free body diagram. So if you look, Vx plus 80 equal to 0, so we can get Vx equal to minus 80 kilonewton. Similarly, if you consider moment about the section xx as 0, considering positive moments as clockwise, so we will get mx minus 80 into x equal to 0. So we will get the expression for mx as 80x. So this would be the expression for mx, and mind that the origin has been chosen as the point B. So what we have done till now is we have developed expressions for shear force and bending moment for each of the three regions, that is AB, BC and CD, AB, CB and AB, no, the different regions are AC, CD and DB. So what we have to do now is we need to tabulate these values. So let us try to develop a tabulation form. So we have the region, then we should have origin, then expression for Vx, and we should have expression for Mx. So first is the region AC, then we have CD and then DB. The origin was A here, the origin was D here and the origin was B here. For the region AC, the shear force was 60 minus 20 by 3 into x square, and it was 60 x minus 20 by 9 into x cube here. For CD, the shear force was 0 and the bending moment was positive 120, and for the region DB, the shear force was minus 80 and the bending moment was plus 80x. So these are the values. Now what we have to do is we need to get the salient values of shear force and bending moment at the different points. So how do we do that? What we have to do now is so let us try to find out shear force at the point A. So if we want to find the shear force at the point A, so the shear force at the point A is obvious, that will be 60. So you can simply put x is equal to 0 here in this expression. If you put x is equal to 0, you will be getting the value of shear force at the point A, that is plus 60. Next point is the shear force at the point C. So to get the shear force at the point C, now shear force at the point C will be having only one single value. Okay, shear force at the point C will be having only one single value. The reason is that we do not have any concentrated force. There will be a sudden jump in the shear force only if there is a concentrated force. Okay, so here we are only having a distributed force, that is, this is a distributed force in the region AC, and therefore it will be a continuous value. Whereas if there is a concentrated force here, the shear force at C will be having two different values. Okay, so if we in this case, since there is no concentrated force here and there is only distributed force, point C will be having only one single value of shear force. So we can take the value of shear force either from AC or from CD. So since we have the value from CD, it is easy to write it from the point CD, that is the value of shear force will be 0 at the point C. Similarly at the point D also the value of shear force will be 0, and at the point next is we require the value of shear force at the point, the last point, that is the point B. So at the point B the value of shear force is minus 80. So these are the different cases, and again what we have to understand is at the point D we are going to have two different values. Okay, at the point D we will be, it is a concentrated force and therefore we will be having two different values of shear force. So we will find the value of shear force at the point D from the two regions. So from CD the value of shear force is 0 and from DB the value of shear force is minus 80. Okay, now how to draw this? So at B the value of shear force is minus 80. Now between two concentrated forces, shear force will have a horizontal variation. So at D the value of shear force is minus 80 and then it is 0. So this is 80 and 0 at the point D. Now between again points of concentrated forces, the shear force will be having a horizontal line. Now in the region CD the shear force is 0, so till here it will be 0, and at A the shear force is having a value plus 60, so it is 60 here, this value is 60. And in the region AC shear force is having a quadratic variation, so this is a quadratic variation. So this is the shear force diagram that we are having. Okay, it is having a quadratic variation in the region AC, and this is the particular shear force diagram. Now once again, if you look into the shear force diagram, what we can see is that the shear force is 0 at this particular region. This is a region where shear force is 0, and what that means is the maximum bending moment can be obtained in this particular region. Bending moment will be maximum at the point where the shear force will be 0, so maximum bending moment can be obtained in this region. There is no other region where maximum bending moment is going to occur. Now let us try to draw the bending moment diagram. So to draw the bending moment diagram, again we require the value of bending moment at the salient points. So first let us start the point MA. To get the bending moment at MA, we can use this expression and substitute x is equal to 0. We will get it as 0. Next thing we require is the bending moment at the point C. Again, since there is no concentrated moments, the value of bending moment is going to be a unique value at each of the point, so we can take from any of the two regions. So if you look, MC will be, we will take it from the region CD, so it will be plus 120. EMD also we can take it from any of the two regions. We'll take it from the region CD, so that also will be plus 120. And finally MB, if we put x is equal to 0, we'll get it as 0. So this will be the value of bending moment at the different points. So now how do we draw this? This is 120 plus 120, this is also plus 120. Now in the region DB, bending moment is having a straight line variation, so we will join it by a straight line. And then between the two CD, it is having a constant value, so it is a straight line variation. It is horizontal line, it is a constant value. And lastly, from in the region AC, it is going to have a cubic variation. So what we will be doing is we can draw a cubic variation of the bending moment. So cubic variation is going to look more like a curve, so it is going to be the same. So this is 120, this is also 120, this is a straight line, and this is cubic variation, this is plus. So here you have the bending moment diagram for the particular beam. Okay, so we require a tabulation form like this, and also we need to find out the salient values of bending moment at the salient points. So once we have these two, we are in a position to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram. And most important thing is whenever in considering values for the shear force diagram, if we are having a horizontal a vertical force coming at a particular point, at that point the shear force diagram will be having two different values. So those two different values have to be found out from the shear force diagram. Whereas in case of bending moment diagram, only if we are having a concentrated moment coming in the beam, then only we need to find then only the bending moment diagram will be having two different values at a point. Otherwise it is going to have unique values. Now in this particular example, the question that we have is, we are having a beam A, B, C, D, and this is having an overhang BC, and there is a concentrated force at the tip of the overhang, and the overhang is of 1 meter. And also the notable feature that we are having is we are having a concentrated moment coming into the picture. So to begin the analysis, what we need to do is we need to calculate the reactions at both the ends, that is at A and at B. So we have found this out in this particular problem, that is 108.75 kilonewton each. The reactions are the same. Now to do the analysis, what we have to do is we need to find expression for shear force and bending moment, first in the region AD, and then in the region DB, and finally in the region BC. So let us find the shear force and bending moment in the region AD. So to do that, what we have to do is we'll take a section XX at a distance x from A, and what we will do is we'll consider a small element here. We'll zoom that element out. So this will be the element. So this would be the positive values of shear force and positive directions of shear force and bending moment. So if you zoom this diagram, so this is how it is going to look like. So if we try to find out the value of the shear force, what we are going to have is minus Vx plus 108.75 minus 45x is equal to 0. So we'll get the value of Vx as 45x we'll get it as 108.75 minus 45x. This would be the expression for shear force. Again, if you put Vx equal to 0 in this, we will get the value of the point where the shear force is going to come as 0. So if you do that, we'll get it as 108.75 divided by 45. We'll get it as 2.41 meter. So this 2.41 meter is the point where the shear force is going to be 0, and consequently bending moment is going to be maximum. So again, if we try to find the expression for bending moment, what we will do is we will take the bending moment about the section XX equal to 0. If we do that, we will get minus mx plus 45 into x square by 2 plus, it is not plus 45, minus 45 into x square by 2 plus 108.75x equal to 0. So if we try to simplify this expression, we would be getting the expression for mx as mx is equal to 108.75x minus 45 into x square divided by 2. So this would be the expression for the bending moment. Now if we substitute this 2.41 meter that we found out in this expression, we will get the maximum value of the bending moment for this particular beam, and that maximum value is coming as 131.4 kilonewton. Okay, if we substitute, this bending moment is going to be maximum at the point where shear force is 0. Shear force is 0 at 2.41 meter. So if we substitute this 2.41 in this expression, we will get the value of maximum bending moment as 131.4 kilonewton meter. Okay, so that is the expressions for shear force and bending moment in the region AD. Now, having found out the shear force and bending moment in the region AD, let us try to find out the shear force and bending moment for the other regions. Now, if we consider the region, next region we will consider is DB. We will consider B as the origin. So, if we consider a small element here, so this would be the positive directions of shear force. This would be 1 meter. This is xx. So if we write the equations of equilibrium, the value is 108.75 kilonewton here. We will get Vx plus 108.75 minus 37.5 equal to 0. We will get the value of Vx as minus 71.25 will be the value of Vx in this region. So this is the region dB that we are considering, and the origin is the point B. So minus 71.25 kilonewton will be the value of Vx. Similarly, to find Mx, we will consider a moment about the section xx equal to 0. So if we do that, we will get Mx minus 108.75 into x plus 37.5 into x plus 1 equal to 0. So if we try to rewrite this particular equation, we'll get the value of mx as mx is equal to 71.25 x minus 37.5. So this would be the value of mx that we are going to have for the region dB, and this would be the value of shear force we are going to have for the region dB with B as the origin. So as of now, we have found out the expressions for shear force and bending moment for the region AD as well as for the region DB. Now let us try to find it out for the region BC. Again, to find it out for the region BC, what we have to do is we have to consider a section here at a distance x from here, and we will consider a small element. So if we zoom out, these would be the values of the positive directions of shear force and bending moment. So this would be the force 37.5 kilonewton and the distance x. So these are the positive directions of shear force and bending moment. If we consider the equilibrium equations, we will get Vx is equal to 37.5 kilonewton, and also we will get Mx is equal to minus 37.5 x. So these are the expressions for the region BC with C as the origin. So the expressions for shear force and bending moment for all the three regions have been found out. Now that we have to do is we need to find out so if we try to tabulate these values, this would be the region, then the origin, then we have expression for Vx, and we have expression for Mx. So the first region is AD, the origin was A, second region was DB, the origin was B, and the third region was BC, the origin was C. So expression for shear force in the first region was 108.75 minus 45x, so 108.75 minus 45x, and the bending moment expression was 108.75x minus 45 divided by 2 into x square. So if you look here, the shear force in this region is having a linear variation, whereas bending moment in this region is having a quadratic or a parabolic variation. And if we consider the region dB, the shear force is minus 71.25 in the region. It is a constant value, and the bending moment is going to be 71.25x minus 37.5. It is having a linear variation. And in the region BC, we have shear force is again a constant value, that is 37.5 positive, and the bending moment is going to be minus 37.5 x. So we have these different values, and to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram, what we require is the salient values of shear force and bending moment diagram at the different points. Also, we have one thing that we have found out, that is in the region AD, we will have at x is equal to 2.41 meter, we will have the shear force will be 0 and the bending moment will be maximum, and that maximum value is 130.4 kilonewton meter. So this also we have found out. So we also need to now find out what will be the salient values of bending moment. So if we substitute and see, we will get the value of bending moment at A will be getting as 0, and the value of bending moment at D. Now here what we have to understand is at D we are having uh, a concentrated moment, and therefore there will be a sudden jump in the bending moment values in the at the point D. Therefore we need to find the value of these two values of bending moment has to be found out. So the first value can be obtained from the region AD. So if we substitute x is equal to 4 in the region, in the expression for bending moment in the region AD, if we substitute x is equal to 4 meter, we will be getting the first value. So that value, if we substitute x is equal to 4 meter, we will be getting the value as 1 0. Similarly, the salient points of the shear force should also be tabulated. So if we try to calculate the salient points of the shear force, what we will see is that at the point C, we have the shear force as 37.5. So let us start from the point A. So if you take at the point A, it is going to be plus 108.75 kilonewton, and at the point D, so at the point D, shear force will be having how many values? Will it be having multiple values or a single value at the point D? So at the point D, since there is no concentrated force in the loading diagram, the shear force will be having only one single value. So that single value we can choose it as minus 71.25. So it is going to be minus 71.25 kilonewton. And at the point B, there is a concentrated force, so there will be two values of bending moment. First value is minus 71.25, and the second value will be plus 37.5. So and at the point C, it will be plus 37.5. So now to obtain the salient values of bending moment and shear force, first we will calculate the bending moment. To calculate the bending moment at the point A, all we have to do is substitute x is equal to 0 in the expression for bending moment. We'll get it as 0. At the point D, we are having a concentrated moment, so we need to find two values for the bending moment at the point D. The first value we will get by substituting in the expression for the region AD. To get the point D, we have to substitute x is equal to 4 meter. So if we substitute that x is equal to 4 meter in the expression for bending moment in the region AD, we will get the value of bending moment as it is 108 point. We will be getting the value as 75. So 75 kilonewton meter will be the value of the bending moment from the region AD. And similarly, if we substitute for the expression for bending moment in the region DB, the origin is B, and therefore we have to substitute x is equal to 2 meter to reach the point D. So if we substitute x is equal to 2 meter here, we will get the value of bending moment as 105 kilonewton meter. Now you can see the difference between the two values of bending moment at the point D. There is a 30 kilonewton meter difference, which is equivalent to the magnitude of the concentrated moment that is applied at the point D. Now, to get the bending moment at the point B, we can simply substitute x is equal to 1 meter in the value for the region BC. We will get it as minus 37.5 kilonewton meter, and at the C, the value is 0. Okay. Now, with these values and the values of the shear force, what we can do is we can go for the tabulation. So, this is the diagram that we have. 45 kilonewton per meter, and this is 4 meter. At the point D, we are having a 30 kilonewton meter. This is 37.5 kilonewton. This is 1 meter, 108.75. 108.75. So first we will draw the shear force, followed by which we will draw the bending moment diagram. So when drawing the shear force, what we have to look is, again we have the salient values of the bending moment diagram available with us. We will be making use of those salient values to find out the to draw the shear force diagram. So at C the value is plus 37.5. So this is plus 37.5, and at the point B we are having two values. One is plus 37.5 and another one is 71.25, which is negative. So this is minus 71.25. This is 37.5 and this is 71.25. Now till the point D we are having a constant variation. So this is the variation till the point D, and at the point D we are having minus 71.5. Then at the point A, what we are having is we are having it as plus 108.75. So this is 108.75 here, and the variation between this is linear. So we have this linear variation, and the point where the shear force is going to be 0 is 2.41 meter. So this is the shear force diagram. This is positive and the rest is negative. And to calculate the bending moment diagram, this is our bending moment. To draw the bending moment diagram, we know the value of bending moment is 0 here. It is minus 37.5 here. So this is 37.5 and it is drawn by a straight line. Then what we have is we have a value of 0 at this particular point, and it is going to be having the maximum at this point. So the maximum, let us mark it as, we got it as 131.4 kilonewton meter, and at the point D the values of the bending moment was, one value is 75 and another value is 105. Okay, so we can join this by a curve, and this is a straight line. So this is also a curve. So what we have to understand is, from the in the region A to D, so this is A and this is D, in this particular region it is going to be curve, that is it is going to be a quadratic expression, that is, so a quadratic variation for the bending moment with the maximum at this particular point. And here we have at the point D there is a sudden jump in the bending moment diagram, showing that there is a concentrated moment that is acting at the point D. Now between these 2 points the shear force is having a constant variation, indicating that the bending moment is going to be linear. So it is positive and it is negative, so which means that the bending moment changes sign somewhere in between. Okay, the bending moment changes sign from positive to negative somewhere in between, and this point where the bending moment changes sign is known as the point of contraflexure. And how do we calculate the point of contraflexure? To calculate the point of contraflexure, what we have to do is The expression for bending moment in the region dB, we have to equate that to 0 because that is the point where bending moment is 0. So to find the point of contraflexure means uh, point that on either side of which the flexure is going to be of opposite signs or of opposite nature. One is hogging, another one is sagging. So to get that, what we will do is the expression for bending moment is in the region dB is 71.25 x minus 37.5 equal to 0. We will get x is equal to 37.5 divided by 71.25. We will get this value as 0.53 meter. So this distance can be marked as 0.53 meter here. Again, this is known as the point of contraflexure. What that means is on either side of the point of contraflexure, the bending moment will be having, it will be of opposite nature. So we can show that in the deflected shape also. So if we try to draw the deflected shape of this beam, we are going to have sagging, and somewhere the nature changes to hogging, and that point where the nature of bending changes from sagging to hogging, we call it as the point of contraflexure. So if we draw the deflected shape like this, we are going to have tension at the bottom in all this region, and beyond the point of contraflexure the tension changes into hogging. I mean the nature of bending changes into hogging and tension is going to be on the top. So this is the idea of the point of contraflexure. So with this we stop our discussions on shear force and bending moment for this particular case. We will see with another example in the next lecture. Thank you.